Hello, hello. Welcome back to EFT with Lucy. I'm Lucy and I'm so glad you're here. Today we're going to be tapping on calling in as many blessings for the new year as possible and really getting clear on setting your intentions. But we're going to work on clearing the blocks to whatever it is that you might have to setting those intentions and really feeling like you can call in the change that you want to see, that you can be the change that you want to see in your life. So what we're calling this video and this guided tapping is working through disappointment, like letting go of disappointment. Who knows what I'm actually going to decide, but we're going to let go of this block of feeling disappointed and feeling afraid of disappointment in your life. So the ways that affects us is like playing it small, holding back, maybe self-sabotaging ourselves, and then ultimately starting to feel like less confident in ourselves because we're not doing the things that we said we want to do because we have this fear of disappointment or whatever it is that's holding us back. So I'm so excited that you're here. As we go through this tapping, I really encourage you to think about what is it in your life that you're feeling disappointed about or you're feeling afraid of disappointment around. So whether it's some sort of change that you want to see in this upcoming year, as I'm filming this, it is the new year. And let me tell you, I love the new year as in any chance to reflect on how things have been going, especially, for a year or thinking about what I want to be calling in for the new year. So whether you're watching this at the beginning of this year in 2025, or you're watching it at your birthday or some other significant milestone, and you're really reflecting on where you've been and where you really want to go, this is going to be the perfect time, the perfect tapping to let go of this fear of disappointment, especially if you feel like you've been burned by setting goals. So as I was sitting down to think about like what could really benefit my audience and you lovely people, I was thinking about what holds us back oftentimes from setting goals or really feeling like, we can have the glow up that we have been calling in and really desiring. And I think sometimes when we feel like we've set intentions and we've really worked on this one area of our life or really worked on ourselves and then feeling like things haven't changed and then feeling kind of like burned and like you lost trust that things can change in this area or that you can really call in meaningful change. And we start to build up stories about ourselves like, oh, I'm just, not good enough or I'm not capable. And we start to it starts to become like a shame thing. So that really adds to the cycle of not seeing the change that we want to see because we feel bad about ourselves. We tell ourselves that we can't do it. So then what does our subconscious do? It's like, oh, you're right. We can't do it. All right, here we go. Even if we try, we're not going to succeed. So the beauty of tapping out these blocks is that it really helps us get in touch with our body. I like to think about tapping as getting our brain and our body on board because consciously you might know like, yeah, I'm super capable of this. I can do whatever I want. But when it comes to actually taking these actions or you find yourself self-sabotaging and you're like, gosh, why is this happening? Or why is it not working out for me? Or why do I still feel really bad? Or why do I feel really afraid or I feel overwhelmed? Whatever it is. It's because there's some part of our subconscious mind or, just our body that is like, you know what, I'm really resisting this because of maybe we're afraid of rejection or we're afraid of disappointment. So we can't actually fully put ourselves out there. So as we go through this tapping, we're going to be able to let go of that block so that you can actually call in the change that you want to see. So do the whole tapping with me. Let me know how you feel afterwards, and then come back and let me know how you see, what you see changing in your life, because I promise you, as we start to let go of this fear of disappointment, so many things are going to change in your life. So let's get into the tapping. I really want you to get specific on what area of life that you're feeling afraid of disappointment. So if this were a one-on-one session, I would be asking you all the different areas of your life that, you're feeling afraid of disappointment. I might have said this before. So is it your romantic life? Is it your social life? Is it career? Is it money? Is it your family? Is it your living space? Is it your health and well-being? Is it your body? Is it whatever it is? We would get really clear on that. So I want you right now to get really clear. Where are you feeling afraid of disappointment? What does that feel like in your body? Like, do you find yourself feeling like a little like block in your chest? That's what happens for me, where I'm just like, oh, like I feel like really afraid. And then I find myself feeling like I shrink because I'm like, oh, well, obviously this hasn't changed yet. So I'm the problem. So I start to that happens for me. I share that to say, what happens for you? Like, this is just an example. What happens for you? And so I want you to get really clear on that as we go through this tapping so that you can think about all those experiences for you. We're not sugarcoating anything. I really want you to get real and honest with what is your true experience of this fear of disappointment, and call to mind, where do you find yourself self-sabotaging? Where do you find yourself not following through? Where do you find yourself feeling hopeless, or I can't think of the right word for it, but just feeling like, oh, it's not gonna work out for me, so why even try? There's a word for it. If you can think of it, put it in the comments, please, because I'm like, oh, there's a word, and I can't call it to my mind right now. And that's it. Make sure that you drink your water, and let's get into the tapping. Just tap on the side of the hand here and repeat after me. I feel so disappointed. And I'm afraid of continuing to feel disappointed. I really thought things would be different by now. I thought I would have hit this goal by now. I've been working so hard, and I've really been calling in this change for so long. But it feels like another turn of the year, and this thing is still the same. Ugh, and it just feels so bad. It makes me not want to set goals around this. It makes me feel really defeatist. And it makes me afraid to dream big. I really feel like things are never going to change around this. I feel like change is possible for other people, but not for me. Other people see success in this area. Picture success in this area. Whatever that looks like for me. But I'm just not cut out for it. Maybe it was not meant to be for me. I wasn't meant to have this thing. Or maybe I think that I can have this thing, but something is just really wrong with me. Like it's my fault. It's my shortcomings that have made me fail at this goal, which feels so bad. It's really starting to affect other areas of my life. How I see myself, and how I show up to this area of my life. And as much as I'm ready for change, there's a big part of me that isn't ready to let go of this disappointment, of focusing on the pain of this disappointment. The part of me that's so attached to feeling like a failure, even in this one part of my life. So even though I feel so much disappointment, I'm choosing to love and accept myself, even if I feel really bad about myself, because I'm defining my self-worth by this one specific parameter. I'm choosing to wholly and completely forgive and honor myself. And I'm choosing to be open to the possibility that things can be different, that everything can change. And I am not excluded from seeing change around this area of my life. All right, take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. All right, we're gonna move into the rest of the tapping. I'm gonna take a quick sip of water and I'll be right back. So we're gonna get into the rest of the tapping. You can use both hands or one hand. I'll probably switch between the two. I don't really think about it too often throughout this, but you can do whatever you want. Starting on the top of the head. I'm so afraid of feeling more disappointment in this area of my life, because I've been feeling really disappointed around fill in the blank. It makes me feel like a failure. It makes me feel pessimistic. And it makes me think I'm going to be trapped in this pain of disappointment and failure forever and ever. And it's not like I haven't been trying to create change. So I'm sitting here thinking, what's the problem? Why isn't it clicking? I must be the problem. It's because I'm not smart enough, or I'm not capable, or fill in the blank with whatever story I'm saying to myself why this isn't happening. Or maybe I'm just telling myself it just wasn't in the stars. Finding success in this area just wasn't meant for me. I'm just not a successful person. So why even waste my time trying? It's such a terrible feeling. So of course I'm going to want to avoid this feeling by not setting my sights high enough, like not setting any goals so that I'm not disappointed in this one area of my life. But then I continue to feel unhappy in this area of my life and just perpetuate this cycle. And maybe this has really started to affect my confidence. Like, I don't see myself as capable in this one specific area. So I start to see myself as not capable in all these other areas of my life. Makes me feel like I'm a failure. And it makes me feel a lot of shame, because it seems like other people don't have a problem with this thing in their life. But I do. So again, it seems like I must be the problem. I'm ready to let this go, because I can feel how bad that belief is. That belief sits so terribly in my body. It makes my heart hurt. It makes me shrink. It makes me feel like there's this block around my heart. So if I'm trying to avoid all of this pain, if I'm fearing disappointment, of course, I'm going to start to self-sabotage. Or if I have this idea that I'm flawed, or maybe I have this belief, like what are people going to think of me if I do succeed around this? How are things going to change? If I get this thing, am I just going to be afraid of losing it again? There's so many things that worry me about this area of my life. But I'm choosing to love and accept myself even though I have felt all this disappointment. It's so hard to feel this disappointment. It's tough to feel disappointed. It's tough to feel like a failure. And there's part of me that knows that I'm not a failure. There's part of me that knows that this can change. There's part of me that knows I can find success in this area. But there's a bigger part of me internally that's like, yeah, right. So I'm choosing to love and accept myself. Even that part of me that says, yeah, right. Because the truth is, I'm still here living and breathing. Even though I don't feel successful. I'm still here living and breathing. Even though I feel disappointed. I'm still here and living and breathing. Even though I feel like a failure. So maybe I don't have to be so afraid of feeling these feelings. Because all that does is fixate me on feeling disappointment, on feeling like a failure. And I know that there's other great things going on in my life. But fixating on this disappointment and failure is really blocking me from accessing gratitude for those parts of my life. Maybe I've even grown in this specific area of my life. Or maybe I've even put in effort. But I'm discounting all the work that I've put in because the results don't look the way I want them to. I'm open to seeing my little wins. And I'm open to seeing the effort that I put into this area as success. The truth is, everyone starts somewhere. And even if it seems easier for other people, the truth is, they started somewhere too. And I never know what people are dealing with. Like maybe someone is experiencing the success that I want in one area of life, but they don't have the blessings that I do in other areas. Comparing myself to other people, other people's success and journeys and pace, it's always going to be an unequal comparison. It's always going to be comparing apples and oranges. So I'm choosing to let go of this comparison that I might be holding on to. That's contributing to me telling myself that I'm not successful and I am a failure. I'm choosing to love and accept myself even though I've been doing that. And even if I've been telling myself that I'm the problem, that I'm just not smart enough, capable enough, disciplined enough, etc. I'm choosing to truly acknowledge that maybe I am not the problem. Maybe there are some skills that I need to practice or learn, or ways I could troubleshoot adding different behaviors into my day. Different habits, different thought patterns. And that takes trial and error. But maybe the answer for why I don't see success yet is not because I'm the problem. I certainly have agency over this issue. I have agency and autonomy over my actions. And maybe I've been afraid to take some actions, but it doesn't mean that I get to beat myself up, judge myself, criticize myself, and belittle myself to the point where I don't want to take any action at all in this area. Even though I have this response to being hard on myself, this response of being critical towards myself, and discounting all the positives and small wins that I've achieved and taken. I'm choosing to love and accept myself. I know that these behaviors are serving some sort of function and are probably rooted in self-love and wanting the best for myself. Even if it's misguided. I'm choosing to think the part of me that would feel this bad in order to help me get what I want. But the truth is, that's no longer working for me anymore. So I'm ready to say goodbye to these old patterns of being harsh on myself, of telling myself that things will never change, so why even bother? I'm choosing to let go of this heaviness that comes with all of those beliefs. And I'm choosing to call in bright and sparkly new beliefs and emotions that make me feel good and help me show up to actually create change. That help me create change that I so deeply desire. Like choosing to know that even if it takes time, I can see success in this area. Even if I'm not perfect at first, I can still see success in this area. I'm choosing to own the fact that the more I show up, the greater the likelihood that I see change in this area. And I'm choosing to know that I can try different things. I don't have to be stuck in my ways. And if things aren't going the way that I want them to, I have the power and capability to not blame myself, but sit back with a hat of compassion on and ask, do I just need to give it more time? Do I need to change my approach? Do I need to chunk these steps down into smaller steps? Do I need to recommit to this goal? Do I need to reconnect with my motivation? Have I realized that my goal has changed? Or do I need to reframe what success looks like for me in this area? I have the power to look at all of those things for myself. I have the power to determine all these things for myself. And the truth is, I may not be where I want to be in this area. And that's okay. It doesn't make me dumb or stupid or a bad person. It simply makes me a person that wants to experience different feelings and different actions in this area of my life. I'm choosing to know that there's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with me. Because I haven't achieved what I wanted to around this thing. There was never anything wrong with me before. There's nothing wrong with me now. And even if I don't see success for a while around this thing, there still will be nothing wrong with me. I can already start to feel lighter. And I'm choosing to know that this journey can feel really good. Because it's less about the destination, as much as I really want to get to that destination. But it's important that I enjoy the journey. It's important that I enjoy the journey along the way. I can't hate myself into a happy life. So I'm done trying to do that. I'm ready to start believing in myself. Maybe already believing in myself right now around this thing. Choosing to love and accept myself. And to know that I can handle disappointment. I can learn from my mistakes. Choosing to know that even if it looks like a failure, it just means that there is something to learn. And it doesn't make me the failure. I'm ready to celebrate every teeny tiny small win. And to celebrate myself for showing up and taking any action. I'm letting go of this disappointment and this fear of disappointment. Wholly, completely, and for good. All right, take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Great job. I'm so proud of you. That was a really long one, but I think it's going to be a really powerful one. Let me know how you felt at the beginning of this tapping session, and let me know how you feel afterwards. And let me know if you do really see any change come about in this area of your life, because I really think as we start to clear these blocks that we have around this area, and we loosen our grip on this fear of disappointment, but clinging onto it so much, that we're able to let go, I really think that you're gonna be able to see change in this area of your life. And even if you feel better, that's a huge win. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Thank you for showing up for yourself. If you really enjoyed this video and you wanna see any other videos that can help you move through any other emotion that you're experiencing, check out these other guided tappings that I have. And if there's anything that you wanna see, please let me know what else you might find helpful as a guided EFT tapping. And if you wanna strike up a conversation with me, just say hello. Let me know how this was for you. Please feel free to DM me on Instagram, and have a lovely day.